From your vantage point, what does the economy look like? How strong is growth? Because it still seems steady but tepid.
Well, it feels steady but tepid. But that being said, it is steady, and there are a lot of advantages that the U.S. economy has. So, for example, the consumer has deleveraged. The banking system is in excellent shape. You look at energy. There's a lot of tailwind in the U.S. economy, and the fact of the matter is, we went through a big trauma, which included a banking system trauma, and it took a while to work itself through. So the answer is, it's tepid, but we're definitely growing, and it's established. And I think the latter point is the most significant point.
A lot of people say, though, there's a lot of economic anxiety. People don't feel like these numbers are right, that unemployment is down, but at the same time, so for some reason there remains this great sense of economic anxiety. What do you attribute that to?
Well, I'd say there's economic anxiety, but I'd say there's a more generalized anxiety and a very negative sentiment, and I think it's fed and feeds into the political cycle. I have trouble explaining. If you look at the metrics, you talked about unemployment. Unemployment is not just down; we're virtually at full employment. Now, you'd say that there's some degree of underemployment or wages aren't high. That was always the case. I'm not minimizing the consequence to people who feel their jobs should be higher paid and legitimately so, and the legitimate issues about minimum wages. But at the end of the day, these problems always existed to some extent. People should feel better than they actually do. I'm not saying they should feel good or there aren't challenges to try to surmount or other objectives to strive for, but the sentiment is a lot worse than the economy. If you knew all the numbers and you were teleported here from 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and you're told where employment was, where the price of energy was, what the federal deficit was looking like as a percentage of GDP, the strength of the consumer, a lot of other metrics, and you heard that, you would think that sentiment would be a lot better than it is today.